Hello, everybody, and welcome to Becoming Invincible podcast. I am your host, Talia, and I am so excited to have you here. This podcast is to reframe your mindset, challenge those limiting beliefs that you may have when you're navigating all the situations in your life. And I'm here to give you tools to help you navigate them in such a healthy way and to harness your personal power that we tend to lose along the way. So settle up, get ready, grab a coffee, and get ready for some juice in each episode as I throw you what life has thrown me and we can navigate this shit together. Hey guys, welcome back to part 2 of this episode. It was just getting a little bit long there, and I just really don't want you guys to have to try and listen to it over an hour episode. So I really hope that you enjoy the second part to this episode. There is a lot more juice, and we're about to go into more of Courtney's journey with her being online and things like that. So I hope you guys enjoy it. And also, there's just so much to take away in this conversation that I really feel like dividing it up into 2 episodes really just kind of helps you guys to really process and to go back as well to listen instead of having to listen to a whole hour of an episode or trying to find the certain chapters that you want to listen to and things like that. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the second part to it. And again, I'll put all her details into the description, but I am sorry that my links are not working. I really can't figure it out, but all her information will be there in the description. But I hope you guys enjoy this beautiful episode.
It's interesting, how that sort of comes about. It's a really interesting time with, self-development and online and stuff. So how are you, in case anyone is in network marketing or people are curious about online and things? So, because I know that gets a bad rap as well.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So how were you going from, how was your perspective, from obviously getting into this world with online and that, going from low ticket network marketing to high ticket?
Yeah.
So
that journey.
Obviously, for those that don't understand what we're talking about, maybe just saying the difference, and then how was your experience? Because that would have then, because that's another level again.
Yeah, it's a great question. Yeah, so low ticket is where you essentially, for me in the company I was with, I had monthly quotas. Essentially, you can lose ranks, and it still for me was hustle mentality as well. So needing to have, people might invest, you might get $30 back, or maybe a bit more back on your own order, back on other people's orders or whatever it is, right? So for me, because I was addicted to this hustle mentality, that's how I've grown up in this world. That's how I've witnessed my parents, working hard for money. So it was sweet for me. That's low ticket. And then high ticket is more so where you don't have monthly quotas. In the space that I'm particularly in, you don't lose your rank. You get a higher invest, so people will invest a higher amount to then receive higher commissions as well. For me, I didn't really understand business back then. So it's bless my soul back then. And to now realizing the impact that I really wanted to create the past year was what I'm doing, even with coaching and doing multiple 9-to-5s, still running around like a crazy person, still hustling. Why am I still thinking I need to work hard for money? I was still in this scarcity mindset. So there is a difference between low ticket and high ticket. And for me, and my journey was really about, okay, I didn't believe that I was worth receiving more. I didn't believe that I could, sell that type of investment or whatever it was, right? You also have to align whatever you do. It's really important that you align with the products and that you really align with the vision and the mission and the company when it comes to affiliate marketing or network marketing too. So I just it's low ticket kind of prepared me for, my business, which is what I see myself, what I'm doing now, which is really about me stepping into this maturity as a woman and as a businesswoman as well, and being really smart with money and really going deeper with my relationship with money. So I do believe it comes down, what I've witnessed in my journey is really about really owning your sense of self-worth. So even when I made the jump a year ago, I was still coaching. I was doing Uber Eats driving. I was working at an insurance job because I had left the vet industry then by that time too. So, but I loved what I did, but there was this wealth piece missing. And so yeah, my soul sister and I, that's when we found the high ticket space. She's been on this water her whole life as well. So it was just like, it was like a no brainer, but I was still so scared to yes, start in high ticket because I still had this like scarcity mindset with like, how can I sell that when really it takes the same amount of energy to sell like a lower ticket item, right? To selling a high ticket item. It's the same amount of energy that's put in. That just then reflects of like where you're at with your self-worth journey. There's a few things there with differences in my journey, but when I went all in high ticket in affiliate marketing in the past year, I was at that point where I let go of the coaching business. I let go of the events. Like I literally just did a post about this. I let go of so many things to kind of start fresh. And so then I kind of felt like I was not at the bottom, but I was like at the bottom of another level. And I was like, right, I have this like new room to grow. And that was scary because that's a whole nother journey. And then I ended up leaving the 9 to 5 world and really stepping into that next level of building a relationship with money and trusting myself and trusting the universe and trusting that I could make it work as well. So for me, it just like I realized that, I need more time, I need more money. And then also realizing that the non-for-profits that I want to help, they need more money and they're waiting on the government, aka external resources, to be able to fund them, but they're going to be waiting their whole friggin' life for the government to be able to really fund them. For someone like myself who's very, very passionate on making impact in the world on a very big scale, I'm like, well, I need more people like you and I, just like that, the average guy to have more time and money, because I know we all want to help in some kind of way. Yes, our missions are different, but the more money that's in our hands, the more power we have, realizing that day and day after day of like, well, I'm very, very passionate about, yes, more people having more money, having more time, because we will make better choices and we will be able to help the greater world. And also it's a simplicity as well, like being more with family and friends and having, even just being able to buy organic food, right? It's nowadays over the next few years, it's going to be really, really hard for people to, like, people are going to need a side income just to be able to pay for bills and the basics. That's not even to be able to like have more of like go to retreats or do these beautiful extra things. So now more than ever, we are at such a pivotal, beautiful point in our lifetime where this extra side income is really required. And with that then comes like an opportunity for people, yes, to go all in something like this, like myself and many others like yourself too, to be able to create something, a world that you didn't even know was possible, but to actually know that your dreams, going back to the dreams, that your dreams are always there. They're always niggling at you, and it's time for you to really step into that and start taking the action that's required on that journey. And I do believe, like, my flags are planted. I have so much belief in the industry. I have so much belief in the company. I have so much belief in other people and myself and just community that I know what we're doing here is very, very important, and it's really bringing the power back to community. So yeah, I could go on for hours about just how much I love this space, but I've been in it for like 7 years, so I've seen a lot of things, and I have gone back and forwards because I didn't really trust myself, and then really being like, it's not actually about me it's about a greater mission and how do I really want to show up in this world. So yeah, it's been a journey.
Yeah, I love that so much. Like, and even like highlighting the fact of you really wanting to help the non-for-profit, and because money belongs in the hands of many, that is your dream, that you thought it would be a winery because that's like a open space.
Yeah.
And then, you know what I mean? Like, so that is like also a reflection of you can dream of something and that's what you want, but you just don't know how it's actually going to come around and come out. Like, it's so interesting. I always loved motivational speakers and things like that.
Yeah.
But I would never thought I'd be online, and I never thought I'd have a podcast. Like, honestly, it just sort of just happened. Like anyone would be like, oh yeah, I would never think Tali would have her own podcast to be online. Like, what the hell? Like, honestly. So that's just how things can happen, that you just like, oh, I'd love to help people and I just don't know how I can do that. And we do a business now. So obviously those of you that don't know what Courtney does. So how has it been now stepping into where you're at now with human design and having that business? How is that all feeling and how has that been?
It's a journey. Like, honestly, like, of course, honestly, like integrity, authenticity is really important for me, vulnerability. And the past week, I feel like I've just been coming out of a wormhole. The week before that, I felt like I was on top of the world. So every single day is so, so different. But I always come back to I'm just practicing and implementing gratitude. If you haven't read the book The Magic, highly recommend it. Yeah, right.
Yeah, love it.
It's so powerful. Yeah, and I'm gonna implement it. Like, I'm gonna continuously do it because honestly, I have so much gratitude work. Yes, I've improved a lot, and also I still have so much more depth to go in just being able to be in more of a state of humbleness, because I'm someone that, yes, the go, like wanting to help, like do more, be more, that sometimes I get so caught up in the, like, I'm not enough, rather than like the gratitude of like where I am now and reflecting at how far I've come. I think it's like a fine line. Like, it's really important to have a bit of the balance and the flow between, like the wanting more, being grateful where you are now, because obviously you don't want to be in like this complacency thing where then you don't have the drive to do something different and you're kind of just like stuck in this complacency cycle. And then, also then there's a point of like knowing, okay, if it's complacency or if it's just about having patience. And so for me, this journey here on this earth has really been about having patience. And I feel where I am now, I've accepted the fact that it's a long-term game. So some of the misconceptions around the online space is, especially for the older generation, is like thinking that it's an overnight success or a get rich quick scheme. And it's like, when you're educated on what we have here, it's a business, right? You are a business owner. It's about you taking responsibility. So yeah, for me at the moment, I'm devoted to learning. I'm devoted to growing. I'm devoted to however long it's going to take within my business to get to legacy, what we call, where it's going to be willable to my kids. And I'm 27. Like, I know by the age of 30, I think about this, I'm going to be set up for the rest of my life, but it's every single day I've got to remember, but I know that at least I'm in an industry and I'm in something that if I just don't stop, like, I'm going to win. Like, I'm winning every single day. You get paid. Like, I get paid to learn as I go. And I think that's the most beautiful piece, is that like the support that you have along the journey. And then, yes, the more you go on this journey, the more abundance that comes. And it's really up to you how fast or how slow you go. And it's really it's very, very, it's a very unique journey. And so for me, because I like to go fast and I like to, I want everything now, I also am learning the patience and learning to be okay with like moving goal posts. Like, for example, I just finished this 90-day high accountability mastermind, and it was my lesson of, I didn't get the goal that I wanted. So it was my lesson in actually being, am I okay with just moving that goalpost in another month or two? I don't know when it's going to come, but it was really not, because I'm so devoted to the long-term game of this business and where I'm going and helping people and just navigating that it's okay to keep moving the goalpost. It doesn't actually matter when it happens. What matters is that every single day I'm focusing on that, the long-term success, right? Rather than the short-term success. It's not why I'm here. So it's really, for me, this entrepreneurship journey is really about giving everything the best that I've got every single day. I'm very, very big on, I do not want to go to my deathbed with feeling like I have regrets. I've always felt like that. And yeah, it's really, how can I put the entrepreneurship journey all in one thing? But it's a journey. Let's just say that. And it's very, very unique. Yeah. Which I'm excited where it's heading, and cultivating even more of a community, not even community, a movement. That's really what I've transitioned into, is like a movement that's global, where I've got mission-driven women all over the world where we get to collaborate together and just helping create a better system for, yes, the environment, for people, for our kids, for our future generation, all of that beautiful stuff.
Yeah, I love that. Honestly, yeah, definitely it's about collaborating. Collaboration is really big now, I believe, and I love that, where it's the long-term game, because everyone looks at online, overnight success. Now, don't get me wrong, some people do, I don't know, they peak really quickly sometimes.
Yes.
I totally get that.
Yes.
Yeah, that can happen. Like, we're definitely not saying that, guys.
No.
Yeah, but like when you a lot of the time I think people don't really understand that a lot of people have heart when you're going online. Like, yeah, there is probably some people that like, I want to just make money fast. Like, we all would love to do that, but that's not sustainable. And I love that you touched on that, because a lot of people do look at it like that and they go, oh, Talia, that it's easy what you do. Like, I actually got shamed by, like, obviously keeping private things because people listen to my podcast, but I got shamed by another woman for doing what I do. Have like, I stay at home with my kids and I have my podcast and being online. Like, well, that's not a real job. And I'm like, you do not know how hard it actually is. Like, that I still juggle, and it's just a different way of life. You know, I'm just able to be at home with my kids more, you know. And I think that's the goal as well, that we all want to have more time and, yeah, and be able to have more opportunities and like to create memories as well. Because, yeah, like you said, like with inflation and everyone's like getting worried about the pricing, but also to, yeah, buy food that's good for our body. You know, because then you're going to have a health debt. You know what I mean? So, yeah, like people don't think like that. Like, fuck it, I'm just going to binge and eat this or whatever. But what about your health? Like, in long term, you might have to have a surgery or something. And, yeah, I just think having that perspective of people not understanding, like, well, that's not a real job being online. And, yeah, I love that. Yeah, you touched on that. And then it's such an iteration, especially with what you're doing now. How did you sort of fall into human design? Like, how did that come up?
Yeah, so I first learned about my human design from my kinesiologist at the time. Love her. She's absolutely incredible. That was back when I was living in Victoria. And when she told me, that was probably like at least, 8-9 years ago sort of thing, around that. And it's crazy how time fast goes. It took so much weight off my shoulders, essentially. And I realized that I'm not crazy and that I'm, you know, I'm kind of, okay, a little bit crazy, but like, you know, what everyone's telling me, like this projection of like, oh, like how I feel is okay. And so I contradict myself a lot, because I'm not about putting people in a box, yet sometimes we need to be put in a box, aka with beautiful resources like human design, to then get us outside of the box, get us outside of the matrix, get us outside of projection. And that's really what my journey's been about the past 8 years. And I'm very, very passionate about learning about my uniqueness. It's a big value of mine, authenticity. So the more that I can come back to myself, and the more that I'm going to get out of all areas of my life, like being able to embody my human design into all areas of my life is what I desire. And that's what I was helping people do before coming into the affiliate marketing space. So it's always been a passion. I did courses and things with my kinesiologist, and I've mentored over 100 different men and women with their human design. And then, now really what lights me up as a generator is really having like these sessions or one-on-ones with like entrepreneurs like yourself, obviously. I know we've spoken about it, that are in the arena, that are like wanting to do more, because I know that they're the ones that are mission driven. They're the ones that are showing up. Like, even though, yes, you got shame, like you're still here showing up, and like you've got the courage and the confidence to keep going. And so it really lights my soul being able to have these conversations with people that are willing to show up and willing to do the work, and having the courage to be able to step into who they truly are. So it started with sharing it with my friends, and then learning courses, and then stepping to the coaching role, mentoring, and then now it's just this beautiful passion of mine that I love to bring, that I feel it's like your energetic Bible, that I believe everybody has a deserving to know their human design, because it's what I believe is to be the basic foundations of our energetics. And once you know the depths of yourself, like you have this information for the rest of your life. So it's just something that is like a necessity in my perspective, and I love it. It's something that, I'm very, very passionate about helping others with too. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I love that so much, honestly. You're such a rat, and I love having you on here. Oh my God, we could talk for fucking hours.
I know. Like, we literally can, and we never met in person, but I feel like I've met you in person.
I know. It's like the beauty of it, honestly, when you connect with people that are like-minded. You're like, oh my God, I feel like I know you, but we live on that opposite ends of Australia.
Yeah. I know. I'm like, maybe past life for sure.
Yeah, surely. Hey, oh God, no, I love it. All right, so one last question to wrap it up then.
Amazing.
So what would you say, like if you could tell your past self something, and it can be multiple, like don't hold back on anything, obviously, because there's multiple things that we like to tell ourselves, honestly. But if you could tell, like, past you, like, when you started out, what did you need to hear then? So maybe there's someone listening that they're Courtney, 7, 8 years ago. What would you tell them? Such a hard one, I know.
Yeah, I'm like, trust intuition, that everything is going to be okay, that your visions, that your dreams are valid, and to buckle up because this is the journey. It's like, I've always known that I kind of hidden in the shadows. Like I always knew that I had the answers and held back. Like I even recently, like with a soul sister, not speaking up and not using my intuition when I felt like something was off. So yeah, really, if I was to go back there, is like allow myself to really follow my intuition, to trust, like even this as the feminine, every time we fall, we're always supported, like every single time. And like, how can I just really trust and know that, every single time I fall, I'm going to be supported. Or every time I take that big risk, like I'm always caught, like the universe, God, whatever you believe is always going to be there. Yeah, knowing that everything's going to be okay and that you are going to create everything you desire. I've always chased this, like wanting this certainty, but it's really not about that. It's really about letting go, and just the more I can be in my flow, the more you can be in your flow, the more that things will come to us. It's like, yeah, just really trusting, which is the biggest piece of wisdom I can give. And also a lesson for myself right now as I'm saying this is like, yeah, just keep leaning into the unknown, keep leaning into the trust, and keep being curious about life, because that's where the magic really happens. Like, what else do we have to do in this lifetime, right? Like, honestly, we're here. I do believe we're here for something. Yeah, Courtney back then, she knew, and it's really about trusting that too. So yeah, so many different ways I can speak about that for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's really hard as well to do that, let go and trust, because it's that safety, right? So yeah, and I love that. Like I definitely believe that believing in the higher power, like however that is for people, it really does support you with your decisions and like life, and like with things coming up and things like that. And like we discussed like off the record for like retro. It's a thing, everybody. If you've heard that term, it's a thing.
It is a thing. Yes, your astrology, all of it is, very on point. Not to like say, oh, just because it's Mercury retrograde, then this is why. Like, don't blame the outside, of course. But yeah, having the awareness is going to help you, yes, be able to be like, oh, okay, cool. So maybe you adjust some things, 100%.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. All right. So, well, how can everyone find you? What are all the places?
Yes, amazing. So I'm predominantly hanging out on Instagram. So under I am Courtney Anderson. I've got a link tree, but you'll also find me on Facebook as Courtney Anderson. And yeah, I've got beautiful free resources. Just reach out to me. I'm here to chat. I'm an open book. Obviously, from this podcast, I trust that you have witnessed that. And yeah, I also have my own podcast called Conscious Conversations with Courtney that I just started back up again. It's a really great way to kind of hear more behind the scenes. And yeah, but I do trust that I bring a lot of, I guess, of vulnerability and just like things about my life into my content too. So yeah, you'll predominantly find me on Instagram. Yeah.
Perfect. You heard it here, everyone. And you see us, for those of you that are watching. Yes, definitely go have a follow and check her out as well and all her content, because yeah, so beautiful. And I'm so blessed to get to connect with you and like you have you on my podcast show. Like I'm like, oh my God, yay, like yes.
Yeah, and can I just say, like, what you're doing, not just as a mum, but as a woman, and like just showing up in this world. Like, guys, Talia, you're in the best hands. I've followed along your journey for a little bit now, and you're an incredible mentor and leader. And I love, like, I'm here for you. Like, I'll be there in a heartbeat, you know, for women like you. So the more we can collaborate, the more we can heal our sisterhood wounds, the more we can just come together and love each other and see the beauty that we have within and see the beauty of other women, the more that our world is going to be more abundant and more flowing and more full of love, because it's really about loving ourselves so we can love other women, and in this beautiful sisterhood way too. So thank you so much for having me, babe. I'll be in a heartbeat anytime.
Oh, thank you so much, Bless. Honestly, seriously, guys, it's all about connection. Like, honestly, I feel like like we said before, we're on opposite ends of Australia, and it just feels like we're not met, you know, in the flesh or anything, but it's like, oh my God, we vibe so well. Like, it's just amazing how to have that connection. Hey, and I always say, like, I'm like, you know, everyone wants to be bad on social media and how bad it is, but it's actually can be used for good, just like a lot of things, right? So it's a tool and resource to. That's a whole nother topic, but it's a tool and resource. It's like how you show up. How do you want to use it? And my mentors talk about it as soulful media, like bringing your soul, bringing your essence to social media to inspire people. You get to utilize these resources. Like, you don't let social media use you. You use social media and use it how the way you want to do it. Again, coming back to being so intentional with how you run your life, not giving your power away to external things. Oh my God, I literally recorded a podcast episode on that. So I was like, yes, Courtney.
Of course.
Yes.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Fucking vibes.
Vibe. Yes.
Oh my God. All right, guys. Well, that's all for us. But thank you so much for coming on. Honestly, beautiful. Like, I absolutely loved having you and all the wisdom that you shared with everyone. And everyone go give her a follow and on social media, honestly, and check out her podcast, because that's another business of hers. So come on, guys, for all the support. But no, honestly, I really appreciate you, and I appreciate everyone listening and supporting my podcast, and so I can have beautiful people like Courtney on. She's my first, by the way.
I love it. That makes my day even more amazing.
Yeah, it's so exciting. I was like, oh my God, yay! Like,
amazing. I'm so excited to see what unfolds from here. And for those listening, like, please reach out to myself or Talia. Like, if you have breakthroughs or aha moments, like, that also is what empowers me, and I know that would empower you as well, Talia. So like, please share, speak up, let us know, because that is also what helps keep us going on our journeys too.
Yeah. Beautiful. All right. Thanks everyone for listening, and we'll talk to you soon on another podcast.
Bye, guys.
And I hope you guys have a beautiful day.
Bye.